My name is Kumar Amit. I am right here in Charlotte, North Carolina. I have 16 plus SAP Business Object experience. I'm pure in SAP Business Object, and I'm SAP Business Object certified. And for last 4 years, pretty much, I'm conducting this one part-time training in the evening batch. So, and I'm working professional, so no kind of consulting company or anyone. This is on my company, and I own it, and I drive it, and that's like I like it. Like this is my kind of my passion. I like teaching and giving education, and kind of like be interactive with the people. So that's kind of I'm doing it. And in the business object training from us, like Be Your SAP Guru, what I say. So you are going to get more on the technical side, so in hands-on. So any everyday class and everyday topic will be more on a hands-on basis. So you will really learn the practical scenario, what's happening in the client side, what exactly each and every situation arise as you are getting into the reporting, the reporting technology, reporting carrier. So what kind of reporting situations, reporting requirements come into your plate, and how you resolve or how you get the solutions. You use the tool to derive the solution. That's what you will be, you will be learning pretty much more onto it. So let's get it going. So if you have any reporting experience or business object, it's okay. Otherwise, that's 100% perfectly fine. I have basically pure housewives, so like the college students, they are getting into the training, like very basic SQL knowledge, very high level basically, and then getting into it, really working hard, like really doing hard work. I can see on their questions and practice and time they spend. They really dedicated about 2 to 3 weeks, like so towards the training. So all I want from you, so my goal is to train you, right? I cannot gain or achieve my goal until you give your 100% for the training. So it's mutual. So I'm going to agree to give my 100% on the training. I will make sure any questions you ask me, I will try to give my 100% to answer that question. Best possibilities, like where you get your satisfaction, the question get answered. If not, I will make sure I will go back, prepare, and come back again, and I will answer the questions back to you. Once we finish the class, I expect the same thing, like at least you spend time and you commit for the training, so you will get the returns. So in your long-term return is the time and energy you are going to spend in the training. So that's how we will go mutually on that. So all is a prerequisite for this SAP Business Object training to know kind of the basic high level, like the basic SQL knowledge. When we say this table and another table, we have to join this table. So you know how the join, like equi-join, or like just like a simple join, like primary key, foreign key constraint. When we say aggregation, sum it up, we say average, like you calculate the average, maximum, minimum, all simple basic kind of like the basic NC SQL like knowledge you need to have it to understand what exactly the business object is doing behind the scene. It's not required, but as you know at least this fundamental, the basics, beginning level, you will understand the tool and you will get the concepts in detail. So that then you follow the tool, what tool is doing, you can copy and paste the SQLs, you spend some time, understand it, and then you will be in sync with what the tool is doing for your requirement or need, okay? So for tonight, I just put together some kind of like this demo kind of an agenda here, like overview of BO tools, roles, and markets. A lot of I have seen a lot of times, like students, they have the basic question starts with how is the role, what kind of jobs I see in the business object area, how is the market and other things. Then we go to the tool. So we will just pull the business object tools and what we have installed and what we are going to learn across, like tonight all the way up to the end of the session. And I just wanted to show you quick. It may be a little fast for you. You may not get 100% what exactly, and that's not my objective. Only objective to show you the tool, how each tool look like, and just pinpoint few properties or few areas which is kind of really good, that makes you interesting, and that keeps your momentum going on to learn and build and move forward. Then we will come back to this syllabus, just talk about what exactly you are going to learn, and then server access, how you're going to access the servers, recording files, and all other things, okay? So as we talk about the very first thing, overview on BO tool, so roles and markets. So let's go into the roles and market first here. So in the roles and markets, you can say we have like reporting like BOBJ 4.1, which is kind of the latest tool on the business object. Business object is more than like, I think I would say, um, 18, 19 years plus now, business object. So it started with business object 5.1 all the way now. The latest is BO 4.1. So I don't want to go into the history, what and which tool and all other things. So that's kind of the business object came along a long way. What you see now is kind of really robust and really popular, very freehand, easy navigation and easy tool. So one of the very popular about reporting, business object reporting is ad hoc reporting. When I use ad hoc word, so this is how in my class you will see I will be using slowly some of the technical word that you may familiar with, you may not. So don't hesitate to ask me any questions you may have, and I will clarify you. But at the same time, I would like you to practice along with me. So this is your platform. This 1.5 hour, we all come together, we talk here. And this is your opportunity to speak up, and even though you're wrong, I'm here to correct you. So you will get that momentum going on. So when you are the client side, that builds up your confidence, and you will not make that small mistakes. But all right. So this is like the latest one what we have, and it's very popular for the ad hoc reporting. When we say ad hoc reporting, like you just do a drag and drop of the objects on the on the reporting tool, and you create a report without any kind of technical expertise. So in the business object, we have two kind of like users, I would say. One is a developer, and other is a pure business users. So in any company, you will have the technology team, and then you have a business team, right? Technology team, all they do is basically they build the solution for the company, right? And they deliver it to the business users, and all the business users they have the thorough knowledge about the business, and they use technology to derive or build results for the business, right? So far with me, guys, I hope I'm not going into the technical, but you guys following, right?
Mm-hmm.
Just checking. Okay. All right. So it's kind of the thing basically, right? So in this basically, in this training, I'm trying to make sure there are a lot of opportunities, there are a lot of projects, there are a lot of roles in the market. They look like both, kind of like techno-functional, they will say sometimes, like business analyst kind of role, even though the job title says business analyst, where you will be maybe like retail domain or finance domain or mortgage domain, but as part of the business analyst knowledge, they expect you to have a reporting tool experience in a business object, let's say one of the reporting tools. So which helps go in both sides, like the technical side as well as the business side. So the business side, all you will be doing most of the time, like 80 to 90% of the time, ad hoc reporting. So ad hoc reporting is nothing much, just like you connect to the universe and drag and drop object, just like what I'm doing, just selection. And we will go over all, start doing, and you just say run, and you get the data. How, what, everything, it's all the technology team is going to develop or build for you as a business users. All you have to do, what object and how, you have to drag and drop, and you just pull the objects. And this is how business object generates a SQL statement behind the scene. So you will see on the fly, BO generates this SQL. So you don't even have to think about it and pay attention. It just does it on the fly. But just it will help you when you know the SQL. All right. So the very first role in the business object, you will see BO universe designer. BO universe designer builds the universe. So when I say build the universe, it's on the left-hand side, you will see this circle kind of and there is the eFashion. So eFashion is one of the retail domain example, what I can say, and we will use it for our training as well, which is recommended from SAP Business Object. And all it has, the retail domain, objects, what is required for the reporting. And all we are building this universe. So in the section of this universe designing, we are going to learn how to build this universe, what are the fundamentals, what are the best practices, how to design, what to keep, where to keep, and all the things like loops, tables, everything, context and everything pretty much. So once we start this universe designer, and then this is one of the old tools, the short name is UDT, Universe Designing Tool, and then the new tool which brought up as part of BO 4.1. The tool name is Information Design Tool. IDT is a short form. It does the same thing what BO University Designer works and what Business University Designer does into the system. Along with its new tool, IDT has been launched from 4.1, so it's a brand new tool. It has kind of new look and feel, some shiny thing, and some of the new functionality which is really makes it unique. So we will learn that as well. But again, most of the topics or concepts are 100% same. Only the operational instructions are different as when you use this IDT tool. So pretty much all it does, the BO University Designer or semantic layer, is this. So let's go with this as well. So the second, you have tools, demos. I'm just going these two together. So as you know, BO University Designer. So this is BO University Designer. Where and how the University Designer look like? Let's go. So I'm going here in the server. Start all programs, SAP Business Intelligence, client tools, and then you will see application name Universe Design Tool. So open this tool, and then you will see this login is create password. Tomorrow onwards, we go and each and every option slow and nice, so we will understand what it is, and then all the authentication, then ID and password and everything. So for now, let's get into the tool straight, and you will get your login ID and password each individual for your practice on the server. Basically, tuition fee includes 1 month of server access. Don't want to go in the direction, but just to let you know. So you will have access to the server 24/7, and your login account will be just like my login account, like administrator group. In the business object, we have a group, and your ID will be part of that group, and business object ID, I would say. So whatever I see in the business object, you will able to see. So I don't distinguish, so you are a fresher, I will keep your rights lower, something like that. So you will have the full access into the system. So now, this is your business object universe once we log in into here. And the purpose of this business object universe is nothing but creating a semantic layer. When I say semantic layer, is nothing but basically, your tables and data, they all are in your database. So business object is nothing but a reporting tool. So it's a reporting layer, it's a presentation layer for the reporting for your end users. Your data sits into your database. The database can be anything, BI, BW, Teradata, HANA, SQL Server, Oracle, you name it, it's there. So that's how basically the database and your data. So all you need a connection. Yes. To build that connection and fetch the data from the database or extract the data from your database and then flow through your business object universe to reporting. That's kind of like, it does. So all it is basically nothing much. Basically your data is here, in your database. Then all you're doing here is basically Universe Designer, where you are making a connection and bringing the data. Plus here you are basically, transforming BO reporting requirement, because you have some reporting requirement which you need to have a place. So you get the data, raw data from the database. Then based on your reporting requirement, you wanted to apply some formula, calculation, logic, because your reporting requirement may be different, and you have to make sure you follow and adhere those rules and regulations. So you just use it here, and then once you basically build your reporting solutions in the universe and in the form of objects and everything, you wanted to use that universe for the reporting. So all you do, like reporting. And this whole thing, like I would say, the business object layer, this is like more like a business object. BO portion all here, and the BO portion comes with administration. So administration is more like security. So business object is very fun and challenging, and it's very interesting when you get into the security, because at the end you hold the data for the company, right? And you basically gain an additional responsibility to maintain the company data, which comes with the administration, where you will learn how to protect the folders, how to protect the reports, how to protect the data at the row level, and all other things. So that's kind of the flow you will see. So we are at the universe now. So this is how you will connect to the universe. Once you connect, You will say File and New, and you will be simply opening the universe, or I just open one of the existing universe. All you see here on the right hand side is the table. So these are the database tables what you see, and based on your report requirement, what you get from your business object reporting project, you will know, okay, this is one of my report. Okay, so you get the report. So this is how the requirement goes into the project. So you will get the reports, right? It may be in a BRD format, which is business requirement document, right? In the BRD, you will have, let's say, reports. In the reports, you are going to have rows and columns, right? Now, you have the columns, so you know what are the columns you need to build. Columns builds your tables, right? So I'm going layer by layer. So now you know you have the tables, which has a column. You put together table and column. You set up basically, rows and columns kind of a tables, and then you know how to go. So once you have that information, like the tables and columns, more than one table, you have a join, you start putting together in the form of the universe, you build this logical layer. So the data is still in the database, and you have this logical layer on a screen which connects together, and then you build your reporting solution. So far with me?
Yes.
Aris?
Yes.
Pongit?
Yes, I'm here. I'm here.
Okay, perfect. Thanks. All right. So now, as you can see, you are building this logical layer because you know your reporting requirement. You started from your BRD document. In the BRD document, you may have 10 reports, you may have 100 reports, or one report. It doesn't matter. Rule of thumb is same. You look at your requirements, and they'll say, oh, this is the column. This is like a region column. This is kind of like year column. This is like sales revenue column. This is kind of like your hours column. This is your rate columns, right? And now you have 4 or 5 different attributes of your reports. You go and say region is going to come from the region table. It may be, let's say, geography table. So you know the geography table, you have it. Then you will say this is a geography table, and this is about my sales revenue. The sales revenue is going to come into one of my, let's say, shopping table or shop fact table, right? So you go and connect this region ID to the shop fact region table. You follow, right? And then you connect together to fetch the data from the region. And for this region, what is the sales revenue? You get the sales revenue. So this is how you build the business solutions. Where you are doing it? You are doing it in the universe, just like what you see right on the screen, right? And this is, I'm just going as a high level as I'm trying to build the concept for you, so your mind will process what exactly we're talking, and that will help build your foundation for the reporting. So this is a high level, this is what you do, and then there are a lot of things you will see. Just as a quick, I'm just giving you, and we will learn into the technical detail. You will see this is kind of a loop here. A loop is not good because you will create a deadlock, and it's kind of a loop. So you will get some kind of business object technical error message, says something like cardinality error message, which prevents you to get the accurate data in your reporting, which we need to prevent or fix it. So you fix it by 2 approach, context and loops, kind of technical solutions. We will go into it. That's one thing. So once you, let's say you build this solution, the logical layer in the right hand side, then you go to the left hand side and you build your reporting objects. And this is the set of reporting objects you will see when your business users are doing, when you as a business users are doing the reporting in the business object. So this list is nothing but your, keeping in mind your reporting users and what are their needs and what they wanted to do on the, through the universe. So you categorize this object just like, your Windows operating system in your laptop. You keep the same kind of songs, in the one folder, photos in another folder, video files in another folder, documents in another folder. Likewise, you will do the same in the business object. In the left-hand side, class and object structure, where you give the class name based on the object you wanted to put it in that class, right? Time period is a class, where year, month, week, holiday they are the objects that belongs to this time period class. So just assemble all these objects and put it into the same class and use it and keep it for the reporting. So your business users, when they are logging, it's easy for them, so they know the time. So when they click here, they all get the time-related information. They get the store class, they get the store-related object. These are some of the best practices you should follow And how we, and what kind of objects is it, we will again, as I said, we will learn again. But just in a high level, this blue color object called a dimension object, this pyramid green color object called a detail object, which is always associated with the parent object, a parent dimension object, which is year in this case. Like month, you will say month name. Week, year and week. Another example could be your name. Like name, we have 3 attributes: first name, middle name, last name, right? If you collect together the 3, like, first, middle, last name, it's a name. So name is your object. Sometimes you just wanted to keep it as a minimum object on your screen, and you just create a detail object. So if someone is interested to use, like, first, middle, last name, they will click on this one, they drag and drop. If someone is just looking for a name, they drag and drop. So just kind of like club together similar kind of information, an attribute of an object in the same kind of an object. That's kind of a dimension and detail object. Then you have this measure object, which is used for the statistical calculation, like summation, average, count, max, mean, all these kind of things. As a best practice, we again keep it as a measure as a separate class. You can keep it anywhere, and there is no rule or any kind of restrictions in the universe that you will see. And then here you can see there is a radio button. You switch between these two. This is for your class and objects, and this is for your filter objects, which you will use to filter the record, right? When I say filter the record, you will put where condition in your report. Means, let's say your database, you have, let's say, trillion bytes of, like, trillion megabytes or gigabytes of data, right? It's giga, tera, like, whatever the maximum. So you don't want to pull all the data in your report, right? If you have created a report, you wanted to pull report only for the last year, or only for this year, or only for this Christmas season, or only for this Thanksgiving week. You want to see the sales revenue compared to the last year sales revenue Thanksgiving week compared to this year, let's say, after November, like, December, Christmas, you wanted to see what was the difference between the previous year and this year, so you wanted to check it out. So that's kind of the difference you will see here. So that's about like a filter. So you wanted to filter, so you can create these icons right here. So this is kind of then. And then another interesting concept you will learn is like managed security. So managed security get into like more like how you secure your data, which is again a combination of like a developer and administration job. So this tool or options are they are part of like a university designer. So you will see a lot of options here. Right hand side you will see available groups and users in the business object. Anything is nothing but like a groups. Like you will create a group. Anything is nothing, I would say, an object. And object could be a business object group. That group could be like administrator group, or let's say developers group, right? So just like again, like your Windows operating system. So you have your group where you add the users, and based on their rights, they can see like each other personal folders, and they cannot see other personal folder. They can copy and paste the files. They cannot copy and paste the file. A lot of other things. Similar concept, business object has it. So, but on the left hand side, there are few things in the reporting. So let's say, what kind of the question in the mind, the business question, you will see, like, okay, I'm a basically, district manager for the Walmart, let's say right here, right? And I wanted to know, I would say not district, even though let's say the country manager or something like that, who is like looking after like all the states data. So now let's say you will get a complaint. You know what? The DC state managers are looking over the California, sales revenue, and they are sneaking around. So you know what? Let's separate it out. There are a lot of conflict going on. So what we will do is a reporting standpoint, the manager is going to come back and discuss with the IT project manager, reporting project manager, and say, you know what? Let's split it. However you want to do, you do it by yourself. But when the DC state manager or DC state, the report developers or business users are going to drag and drop, let's say this is state object in the report, that state should only supposed to return a DC state column or DC state data. Should not supposed to return any other state data in the report. Right now you can see here DC, Florida, Massachusetts, California. Everything is here in the report, right? So I wanted to say if I'm a DC state manager or user, if I run this report and use this object, I should only supposed to see DC state data. Should not supposed to see any other state data. Likewise for California, they are supposed to see only California. Likewise Florida. Likewise every other state. So that's where we can separate all the individual users. Second example, so that's kind of like one of the restrictions, manage access restrictions. You will see here. I'm just giving you a quick preview, not going into the detail, but here you can see state equal to DC, something like that. And then second is basically second example. Let's say that's one security example. So how you are going to control that row level security. It's very easy and very quick. All you have to understand the concepts. And the second is, let's say, similar kind of example. Let's say I have now ad hoc users, right? Business users, they are doing reporting on the fly. So now you, again, in the project, there may be, let's say, some promotions. Again, you are in retail, or let's say you are in HR reporting. In the concept of HR reporting, human resource, like, promotions is one of the confidential information. You don't want to release the promotions information until you've gone through your year-end review, right? So there may be some very confidential information that definitely you wanted to hide from the, novice users or like fresher business object reporting users, and they can accidentally drag and drop, print the report, and go and sell in eBay, right? It's information, it's a data at the end. So how to protect? Like you have a situation where you want to grant an access on the universe to everyone, except you don't want to grant promotion class or object access to one particular group, and then other people should able to access this universe and all the object as it is. And you can say vice versa. You can say everyone should supposed to have everything except promotion. So only one group should have access to promotion. So vice versa, right? Same scenario, same vice versa. So how you are going to do it? So for one user or one group, you wanted to hide it. For other, you wanted to let it open. So that's kind of the security and all other things actually, right? And then file parameters. So you will see here, there are a lot of options here. Parameters here, controls, limit size of data, like no one's supposed to download more than 90,000 rows in their Excel spreadsheet document. Limit execution time to anyone running a report. If they will reach 5 minutes in the reporting, after 5 minutes, the report should be terminated by itself. Like, some kind of security as a project or reporting manager, you wanted to plan and you wanted to, put together into the system, so you can do that. Any questions so far?
Well,
No.
well, this is my first time doing this, so right now I'm just gonna do a lot of studying and a lot of listening before I get a lot of questions.
Well, yeah, any learning, it's a fundamental truth. Any learning, in fact, if I wanted to go and learn something, it's not easy, right? Mm-hmm. Be frank, learning is not an easy process for sure, right? So mm-hmm. it's always it has to be just like keep going, hardworking, interesting. That's
yes.
what keep going. So it just coming slowly, and you are getting into it, and then we build the concept. I'm trying to just going and talking through it, so you will get bits and pieces here and there. But at the end, we are going to talk one topic a day kind of thing. So when we learn manage access security, we will be spending about really good amount doing the pure business case and exercise on this manage access restrictions, as I'm saying. So that is going to give you more ground and more information as just talking through and going very, very high level. So, but yeah. Yep. All right. So this is about the Universal Designer tool. So the basically line to take away for the Universal Designing tool is nothing but Universal Designer tool is nothing but a a semantic layer which basically connects your database to the business object reporting layer. And connection, say this is the connection. If you go here, say next, well, it's a new, I would say. I'll just type it something now. And this is where you will see, and we will go each and every option as I'm saying. And this is all basically your connections. You can have SAP, ERP, HANA, Microsoft. It's pretty much in database. You will say it, and it's already there. Once you connect to the database, you insert the tables in the reporting, and then you build your logical layer, and then you create your objects. That's it. Don't go too much or too detailed into it. So that's kind of quick recap whatever we went so far, whatever just as a high level we discussed. Tonight is mostly like a demo kind of thing just to show you. So just going through one by one. So once you build, let's say, this universe, then you get into the reporting tool. So again, coming back, so into this is the first week. So once we start this one, it's about like 1 week, so 4 to 5 class. We'll be spending about Universe Designer / IDT tool, and this way we will be finishing the first topic here. In the second week, we may have like 1 or 2 days of extra in the first week. So second week plus, let's say, a few days here, we're going into the report writing. So again, which is going to be about, again, like 3 or 4 class, and then we will be getting into the next one. So report writing is, again, whatever the work you have done so far in the universe, you drag and drop into the reporting. Then based on the report requirement, you will be creating a report. Then there are a lot of options here: tables, sales, section, charting, different kind of chart here, and more pie chart and all these things. It's very easy and quick, nothing much. You just have to know how to use it. That's it. Nothing much. It's completely tool, so there is no brainy around it. It's just like how to use it, that's the key. So we'll be going each and every option, as I'm saying, each and every options, whatever you are seeing, all demonstrated right on the screen. So you will learn a lot about it, everything, anywhere, any options, whatever you see, we go and talk about all these things. So pretty much, yeah, this is all about the reporting, and there are a lot of different kinds of reporting. You can have the charting, alignment, no data found concepts, and open document reporting where you do the hyperlinking. You run one report, you call to another report, you pass the parameter from one report to another report. It's all I'm saying, it's nothing but a requirement. You will see into the business object reporting requirement, client will say open document reporting experience desirable. So that means they may have a lot of reports, or some reports, or majority of reports they are using technical word. Again, I'm using open document. We will see, which has some kind of hyperlinking to connect or call from one report to another report, like that. So that's kind of one of the things. And then some alerting, like, alert is like conditional here based on your conditions, like, when my sales revenue go, when below 500K, you wanted to set up some sort of alert in your report. So your data will be highlighted as a red, and you will get in attention. You wanted to bigger that font. So you will catch that, and then you understand the situation, and then you put around some rules, and try to find out what's wrong, why it's going below, something like that. It's just kind of an alerter. Okay. So again, this is again pure into the reporting. We'll go deep dive into the reporting second week. Then we get into the third week. It's kind of 2 class plus 2 weeks plus few days. So it's kind of the third week. We'll say here pretty much we'll be getting into it. And third week is nothing but this is like your curious web services here. So all we'll be doing here is pretty much like creating a dashboard and just running a report. And it's nothing but dashboard. When we say, it's kind of one of the biggest difference between the web intelligence reporting tool and Excel CS or dashboard reporting tool. This tool gives you interactivity. So you can see when you hover your mouse, you'll see the tooltip and detail. You click, and based on your click, you can see if you tooltip San Francisco sales revenue data for January to December is showing up right below on your column chart. Likewise, you click on Fremont or like Berkeley or like in San Francisco. Based on your click, you can see your data value is changing right in your below chart. So you will see this big difference right here. So this is kind of like interactivity you will get through the dashboard. So that's kind of we will be learning. In two classes we will be learning, one based on a static data what you have in a report. Some projects you may need to use static because you don't have time to run the whole big project, year-round project. You just wanted to get the data, build the dashboard, answer some of the meetings, go for some meetings, get it answered, go for the meeting, done, move on. Some projects your users want this dashboard on a regular basis. So you build this report from the query as web services, QAAWS. So we'll see in the second class. So that's the two class what you will be seeing, and it's not a big tool, handful of information. One of the most is basically object browser and all these things. All these are like the components what you see. So far any question?
That's fine. Fine.
All right. So now BO administrator. So this is BO administrator is more like admin. So here we will be learning more basically getting into it, like how to set up a user, how to create a groups, how you will set up the permissions. If I'm one of the basically users, like I would say, let's say BI Launchpad. BI Launchpad, and let me open this side by side. BI Launchpad is nothing but a common interface between user and the developer. As a business object developer, you develop a report and you basically export your report into this BI Launchpad in this folder structure, and you will give all this folder name as a project name, let's say HR project, and then you have something like APAC or Corp or some other project here, and you wanted to basically drop your specific report into that folder. So you just wanted to drop it, and then as business users, you will logging into the same application here, BI Launchpad, and then you will be going into the folders based on your access as a business users. Based on your access, you can see these folders or you cannot see some folder. It's completely driven by the security. And where you will define the security? Right here in the CMC. So based on the folders and everything, you will be designing that security, and then who can see what folder, what reports. They can run the report, they cannot run the report. It's a lot of combinations. And then how you migrate report from dev to UAT, UAT to prod. That's some of the things, and central management, and then basically a lot of vendors and settings, instance manager. One of the very popular project in the business object is basically upgrade project. 80% of time you will see almost every single client on the business object requirement, they put it like upgrade experience, desirable. What they expect or what they look forward there, someone had some experience to upgrade the business object reporting environment from, let's say, BO3 version to BO4 version. BO4 is late now. A lot of clients, they are upgrading their business object reporting from BO3 to BO4, which is straightforward, very easy job in a way, but depends on a lot of moving factor, like depends on how big is your reporting project. You have how many reports you have, what kind of reports you have, like is it a straightforward tabular report, or is it really complex report where you have a lot of technical things, input control, sectioning, blah, 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 a lot of technical things, and then how many universe you have, what kind of infrastructure setup you have, a lot of learning there. So we will pretty much dedicate almost like 30 to 45 minutes, almost about to one class for that session. So you will have complete picture about how the upgrade process works, and then the most interesting part is like challenges. A lot of places you will not get the information about the challenges, like let's say you will learn the theory over the books or internet, but what kind of challenges you have faced while you have been working in the upgrade project. So that's kind of the thing we are going to discuss about, and how I resolve some of the challenges, or my team resolves some of the challenges, and then what is the key or what is the formula to get the solution out of this business object. So every situation is a new, and every project and challenge is kind of a new, like you never experienced as a person, you have never experienced that, but in either way, what are the steps you should involve, like, posting a forum, contacting SAP Business Object, and then doing your own research, because you cannot just wait and sit and then think solution is going to come in your way. You have to try something, and most of the time, whatever you try, which is always quickest and safest approach, is compared to you wait and SAP will come back and say, oh, you just upgrade to BO 4.2 to BO 4.3, SP service pack, this, that, and it's a lot of testing, upgrade, and then, you never know. So, so that's kind of another thing. Second example you will see here in the administration, event, basically. So when we say events, let's say you are in the reporting, all right? So your task is to create a report, means generate the data in the report. So there may be some project you will be, let's say you are a business user connecting into the reporting applications, running a report, right? That's one kind of. Second, you are a pass-through. When I say you are a pass-through, means your reporting data is only used for another project. There is another project under your manager who is basically handling this project, another project. So they will say, okay, you develop this data, you create this report, you have the data in the database, and then you send this data or this report to following XYZ team, and then they will take your data and then they will create another report, or they will mix your data with another set of data they are getting into the system, and then they will create one more report, right? And that makes sense, very practical and real-time scenario. You will get this example or project like 60 to 70% anywhere you go, okay? So now, a couple of key things. First thing is basically when you wanted to send the data to the user, right? When the question comes like when, how do you know? Let's say you have your own ETL, extract, transform, load. ETL means the way you populate or load the data into your database, right? You have your database, Oracle, whatever your source application, so you go to the bank, you withdraw the money, that entry get into the transaction systems in the night, you run your ETL, Informatica, Data Storage, or some other tool, and you extract the data, and then you load into your database, right? That's called your extract process. Once you load into the database, basically, then you use your ETL load or nightly load to get that data, and then use your business or reporting logic, transform it, and load into your reporting tables for your reporting need. Then once your ETL will finish, then only you want to send report to the another project, right? You just don't want to send it like 12 o'clock every day, no matter what your ETL has finished or not. You don't want to do that. You always wanted to check whether the ETL have been finished or not. If not, then you wanted to stop it. If finished, then you wanted to kick off your scheduling, which is going to come after the ETL. So let's say, an average, your ETL takes about 4 hours. So in the morning, 4 o'clock, your ETL will finish. Then you wanted to schedule this report. So
I don't see a mouse. Hold on. I don't see I don't see a mouse. Oh, now I see it.
Yeah, I'm just talking. I'm not using anything.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah. I'm just explaining you what exactly and how it works basically. Yeah. So basically, right. So you wanted to send the data based on that event, right? So based on the event means that ETL execution have been completed, and then you wanted to trigger that scheduling. Once you schedule the report, the end users who maybe, let's say, they are receiving your data in an email or SFTP server, secure FTP file transfer protocol, SFTP server or FTP server, and then they will get the data however they want to use it. So that's kind of the events, what you see here on the left-hand side, and we will see that. So it's kind of like we will get into the real good, like, the learning process, what I would say, calendar, access levels, and all these things. Yep. Question for me?
No. No. We'll have to do more reading.
Oh, yeah, that's cool. Well, the good thing is basically it connects back to the real-time scenario. So it's more like a story. So when you get into it, it's like, oh, yeah, like that.
Well, maybe I hope I'll understand it once I do a lot of reading. But right now, You shooting stars, man.
Yeah, as I'm saying, it's more like a story when you get into it. Yeah, you will get like just like a story. Most of the
Yes.
topics you feel like, oh yeah, this is what, and then
Yeah.
once you get into the process, like, oh, this is what,
Yes.
this is how you do it, and it
Yes.
just connect the dot.
Yeah.
2-3 days, you feel like, oh my gosh, what's going on? Like, it's
Right.
too much going on. But after, trust me, like after fourth day, you will feel it. Oh, now you get into that process, right? And then you
I'm
just keep going on.
I'm counting on you.
Thank you. Yeah. All right. So that up to basically and few things like access level. I'm just showing you some interesting cool things like magic, like some access levels is more like, let's say, um, you know, in the project there may be two kind of users or two kind of groups, like, and one you wanted to grant, let's say, to schedule rights. You right click on this report or any report, you will see all these options. They all are derived by the business object security. So that ACL, access control list, basically it all basically helps you control this list. Let's say schedule rights. You wanted to say modify rights. Production, let's say you have a 3 different system, right? Development where the developers, they do their development, UAT, developers complete their work, migrate their changes to the UAT system. So users log in into the UAT, they run their reports, verify, make sure everything is good. They approve, then you submit a request, or you are an administrator, you take the report either from dev or UAT and then migrate into the production, right? And then production users run the report. So now in production, certainly, definitely, you definitely don't want to give this modify rights, right? Otherwise, everyone simply going and modifying the reports in production that you definitely as a developer don't want, right? You want a consistency. Then in the production, you definitely don't want to have anyone except administrator delete or cut kind of rights, especially delete, right? Once anyone accidentally, in fact, deleted the report, it's gone. There is no like control Z, you do it and the report will come back. It's done, it's delete, done. So it's a lot of responsibility and you will have a lot of fun managing that. Just button a button of a click, you said not delete, not delete like that.
Question for you.
Yeah, go ahead, Harris.
Now, you see how you have the I'm sorry, let me try to catch myself. You are going to have some sort of guidelines in terms of who you allow, or who makes the determination who gains access, what group gains access from the others.
Yeah, that's a very good question, I would say. So yes, as a reporting project manager, you will have one of the business lead or business contact or business manager who decides, okay, like let's say HR reporting, right? And in my HR reporting, I may have like a lot of regions. Let's say I have like APAC, like, the Asia Pacific, all the people, it's a big company, let's say Walmart or any bank or any big companies, they're across the world, right? And then they have APAC team, they have a Corp team, they have a London team, EMEA team. So they will say, you know what, London team is only responsible, for, let's say, this auditing folder. So auditing London team is only going to see the auditing folder. So you will create a group, say London GRP, and then you will grant an access to this group. Then you will say, all right, you know what, London team is kind of newly set up. We are still setting up the team in the London. There we have the few users. They are kind of the fresher now. So let's do one thing for the London team. We wanted to set them as a basic rights, just like log in into the reporting, run the report, get the data, move on, right? So the business manager who looks after all the reporting requirements, he will decide it pretty much. Then the same way he will say, okay, there is a corp project where we have a lot of people and they looks like it's all well-versed senior people. So we will grant them scheduling rights and some of them copyright. So they can copy the reports and take it into my documents. You can see on the top, keep it there, and then modify the reports under my document and then do their work. Just like in our computer, right? We can copy and paste the documents in the my document. We can modify it likewise, and then we will grant some more rights. So again, the same one, whoever is a team or one gentleman or guy, lady, whoever is deciding that rules for the project, they will derive that requirement, and then you just have to do it. Yep. Is that answer your question, Harris?
Yes, yes.
Okay.
A follow-up question. In a company, the role of a SAP administrator, how many of those how many of SAP will you say will be in a particular company?
How many SAP administrators are there in a company?
Yeah.
Well, it's a tricky question because it depends on the project, right? It depends on the project and depends on the clients. So typical, I would say, Fortune 500 companies, if I will take an example, they have about a good team of an administrator. All they do a migration of reports, setting up the environment, setting up the server, setting up the security, a lot of work for them. And they have big projects, like, in the company, they may have like more than 50 or 100, more than 100 business object projects. And in the 100 projects, they may have, let's say, 10 offshore and 5 or 6 on-site. You see what I'm saying? And all they do, they just manage the project, like, like reporting, all the things. So it's a lot of work for them. Yep. Likewise, every project, then you may have like 2, 3 or 4, like, the business object developer, depend on, again, their users, each project reporting users. If the users count is about, let's say, 200 plus or 300 plus, you can count easily. You may need at least two university developer or report writer and 1 or 2 report writers. So 3 or 4 developer count you can say for 1 or 200 number of users, or like 200, 300 number of reports, I would say. Good?
Okay. Sounds good, yeah.
All right, so that's pretty much, I would say, high level. Again, we just run through it, and sorry for that, but I just wanted to show you the tool so you can see how the dashboard tool look like, web intelligence tool look like, BI Launchpad look like, central management look like. So you will have some picture in your mind. That's what my objective was there. And there is one more tool, which is information design tool, which is again kind of where it is. And then as you can see here, then we will be getting to the 3rd and 4th week, and you will see all these things. So, and then what you get, all standard SAP business object materials, practice materials for practice, forum plus link info, certification materials, question bank. I will give you some sample resumes, interview questions, and then you prepare or update your own personal resumes. If you want to send it to me, and I will take a look, and if there is any suggestions or recommendations I can make, so you can tune your resume, I can do that. And then there's a separate chat for the job support. Some people, they're like, okay, they are in the project, they are really doing good, but they got some kind of projects or requirement that they are kind of like going nowhere because of the time crunch. They don't have much time. They want, can you just sit down 1 hour, 2 hours with me and just, let's go through it and let's crack it down. At least you can give me the understanding and the breakthrough, and then I will just take it forward and say, okay, you want more 1 or 2 hours, 3 hours, let's sit down. And that's kind of, I said, hourly charges basically, but anyway.
I have a question based on what you just said. Sorry about that. Now, you said you give, support. Now, is this based on maybe someone who has gone through your class and they're now working out in the real world and they just get stuck? They're stuck on something and therefore they call you for help. Is that what you mean?
Yeah, that kind of thing. Yes. So job support, different models. When I say let's you finish my training and you get into the job. Let's say you have some questions for me and say, Amit, you know what, I got stuck here. Send me a screenshot over the email. I try to help all my students as much I can. I still have good contacts with almost every single one of them, and whenever they got into something, they just send it to me and say, okay, you know what, go check this link. If I cannot give them solution, I can just say, okay, oh, I know this is something link. There is some post or some, website link. I just send it to them as a help. But let's say you say, you know what, sometimes, you don't know the other side of the story, right? So they will say, Amit, I'm like, really time crunch and pressure going on. Can you just help me? Let's sit together 1 hour and just, okay? And in the morning, we just sit together and we just go through it. So
now, does it mean that, let's say one is at work, would you be available almost immediately or later?
No, yeah, not immediately for sure. I don't want to make a false commitment and any false. I do work, so this morning you get busy. You rush for the bus and you rush for the, office. Same thing for me as well. Exactly, and then back in a home, that's like 6 or 7 o'clock. Spend some time with family, finish my dinner, and then everyone is slept, and I'm with you guys. So what I usually do, if something is really cracking going on based on my schedule, if something is going on in my side as well, I would say, I cannot do it. I'm be honest with you, because if I cannot, then I don't want to hold you on there. I don't want you,
Would you refer? But then would you refer to some website or something for that?
Yes, I will definitely. My first priority as a professional, I try to help you without any charge. I don't want to make money. I want to basically make you feel happy, what you learn, what you get as a long term. So I will try to help you some documents, just like quick as I can do, and I will try to help you there, and you can get it going. Most of the time, my students, they get it going, and they don't push me back. If they will say, okay, Amit, we need it, then usually Saturday and Sunday in the morning, usually I would say, again, with family and kids, you will not get the hold of your time. So in the morning, about 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, 8 to 9, 9 to 10, something 1 or 2 hours I usually have early morning. So I just set up time with you, and it's very nominal, $53 an hour, I would say. And just like you just go pay and go, and then your time is reserved. I will reserve for that 1 or 2 hours, and then we just sit together. We just use the GoToMeeting. I will make you a presenter. You go share your screen, or do you have questions? We start discussing one by one.
Okay.
Yep. And then server access and syllabus. So syllabus you already have in the email. So it's pretty much same thing. I usually follow the tool. I don't go by I just keep the syllabus. So make sure we follow and we are in the, we focus and we just, follow the syllabus basically. But otherwise, I go by the tool, so I know I'm not going to miss anything as I'm teaching you web intelligence. I go and click each and every option. So if you go that way, you're definitely not going to miss it.
So you have this book. You have it on your website. Can I have it also so one can continue reading without using the internet?
I didn't get it. Book, it's like this PDF document you're seeing, the one I'm sharing on the screen? Oh, this is just a syllabus, and I can send you, actually, I did not have your email, Ariola or Harris, I don't know. I can send you guys, I think, Harris and Symmetry, if you guys can send me your email, so I will reply back with this, this link. So, not link, basically this syllabus, so you will have this with you. So this is for, I will send it to you.
Okay. If one can read this thoroughly, would that be helpful for tomorrow's class?
This is just a syllabus for the whole class, actually. So this is not like a notes. This is just like a syllabus, bullet points. Okay, let's say in the reporting, right? We will learn how to design a report, enhance the presentation, creation of web intelligence, analyze data, like that. So this is, when we are in the information design or university design, same thing, then we'll say, okay, create a dimension, it's kind of a bullet points syllabus, what each and every topic we are going to cover, kind of thing.
Okay.
Yeah, but I will send you, for tomorrow class, I would suggest, I would say, let me pull it. I'm supposed to.
Can you send it to me today instead of tomorrow?
Sorry?
Can you send it to me today instead of